Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about understanding that the key to the long game for getting strong really is to spend most of your time focusing on hypertrophy, focusing on work that is a little bit higher rep. And I want to be clear when I say this, I am not necessarily talking about novice lifters. There are plenty of amazing proven novice programs that have you working in the 5 to 8 rep range almost exclusively for building your base. When I say the word long game, I do mean the long game, right? Once you've been training 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, the long timers. This is who I'm talking about. I don't mean you guys in your first year of serious lifting. Again, you guys can run proven programs. I have multiple free programs. One of them has been run by tens of thousands of people, the Ice Cream Fitness 5x5. Right? Perfect example. It will do great for you guys for your first year. All right, now that that's out of the way, when I'm talking about the long game, I do mean because as we continue to build a strength base and as we continue to get older as lifters, our work capacity starts to get crazy high in terms of our strength levels. Okay? Gets crazy high. I mean, once you can squat 500 pounds, you can deadlift 600 pounds, you're capable of generating an enormous amount of workload when you're doing any low rep stuff, right? You start moving some real big weights, even your 3, 4, and 5 rep sets, by most people's standards, are really heavy. In fact, maybe your 10 rep sets might be more than a lot of people who are listening who are not long timers yet, might be more than their 1 rep max. You might be doing 3 to 5 sets of 10 to 12 reps with weights that those people can't move at all. So what we need to remember is that we are capable of generating a lot of tonnage. Okay? Accordingly, our joints and stuff can really start to take a beating. And one of the things that's noted for people with a strength base is that our joints and stuff start to hurt if we do a lot of heavy work, okay? Or we do it for extended phases. That's one of the problems we run into. Number 2, we're capable of just training ourselves into the ground. But we also are capable of generating very, very large amounts of stimulus off of just a handful of very high rep sets, right? Because our neural drive is higher once we're stronger, right? We can get more efficient reps. Like, there are almost no jump volume reps. Sometimes when you're an advanced lifter, on a 10 rep set, because you're able to hit upper threshold fibers faster if you're strong, sometimes you're getting to those effective reps well before the 10th rep or even the 5th rep sometimes. Your 10 rep max, you might be near that threshold within the first few reps. So again, we're able to generate a lot of training response per set. Use that accordingly, right? Get in and do your volume work, do your pump work. Come in and do some of your smaller movements, right? We don't have to just do nothing but beat away at our big exercises. We can do our big exercises, some of them for higher reps, okay? We do them for higher reps. They're great for building muscle. Squat, bench, deadlift, chin-up, pull-up, all great muscle builders. And that's undisputed among serious lifters. And only clowns and usually weak people or people with little experience or just sheer contrarians are the ones who are arguing against that. Historically, we've observed people who are really jacked tend to do those exercises. There's a vast success rate. So again, when we're looking at these things, understand it from that perspective. We can do volume work with these too, but we can also come in and fill in our weak gaps a little bit, okay? If you're struggling with your pull-ups and chin-ups getting stronger, you can do curls if your arms are a limit, right? You can come in and do tricep work if you need it for your bench. You could even do some flies if your pecs are the weak link in your bench. So on and so forth. It's fine. Come in and do some pump work, do some hypertrophy work. Okay, you're only going to benefit from it. And again, it's easy for our joints. It's easy for us to recover from these things. Okay, and the other thing to think about, we know when we look at the data on elite lifters, Lean body mass is the number one indicator in the long of an elite lifter of what their total is going to be, even power lifters, other people. Not saying a lot of them are not gaming the system. Not saying they're not cheating and using leverages to a certain extent and reduce ranges of motion, but the ability to move a big weight is largely dependent upon muscle tissue. And if you start looking at a lot of the data we have at the muscular level, the individual muscle, it might be as much anywhere from 90 up to 100%, depending upon the data looking at it, of the ability of it to produce force. This comes from its size. So get in and get big. And I know of coaches out there, a lot of people, like I've seen Dr. Mike Israetel, who runs a lot of periodization, and I am not a fan of periodized programming, by the way. I want to make that clear, but that doesn't mean that we throw the baby out with the bathwater. Okay? So in the case of Mike, he said, and I have no reason to doubt him on this, that he's watched the lifters who he put through long hypertrophy phases, long phases of hypertrophy only training. They get bigger and they come in and immediately hit PRs with no peaking, no heavy work. In other words, their squat or their bench press or whatever goes up as soon as they test it. Or they're coming in and maybe their old one rep max, they're doing a triple with it. Purely because they spent months and months getting bigger. All right? Same thing. People always talk about anabolic substances improving strength. Well, how do you think they improve strength? Do people really believe there's this enormous neural drive response from them? No, some of them can increase leverages through intramuscular water. But that's all lean tissue, isn't it? How do these things make people stronger? They make your muscle fibers thicker. Hey, that's why people get stronger on those things. That's also why a lot of lifters who care about being strong will set aside a lot of their hypertrophy training. Go, oh, I don't care about it that much. I'm doing fine. I'm getting stronger. Well, because of the stuff you're taking. You're using that in place of doing, more actual hypertrophy work. And then they're just coming in training heavy. And I know guys who do that. Problem is they end up breaking. Here's the thing to think about. In the long game, your tissues are going to last longer. They're going to be more injury resistant when you've spent a lot more time building muscle tissue, building connective tissue, right? Laying down new tissue gives you more support also to lift these bigger weights. It will keep you in the game a lot longer, sometimes for a lifetime. And that's my point, guys. Come in, focus on getting really, really jacked. And if you're worried about a weight class, then get leaner. Oh my God. It's almost as if strength athletes should really, in a lot of ways, do a lot of stuff like bodybuilders. Get jacked, get lean. You're going to last a lot longer in the game. You're going to be a lot stronger, and you're probably going to be a lot stronger pound for pound. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.